Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is JavaScript top 40 one-liners that every developer must know, and all of these code snippets that I'm covering in this series are something that you can use in your projects on a daily basis. In today's episode, the code snippet that I'm going to give you is to get average of multiple numbers in an array. Now, when you're working on a project which requires a lot of calculations, especially say banking, insurance, or any of those sorts, right? You will need to do some kind of operations on data. Now, let's say you have an array and you want to find out an average of those numbers in an array, right? Like I keep saying, these code snippets are also something they often ask you in interviews. So make sure that you prepare yourself well by going through these. This is part 22 of the series. Let's go ahead and attempt to write a one-liner to get average of multiple numbers in an array. If you have missed out on the first 21 episodes in this series, make sure that you go through the series so that you can learn amazing code snippets that will really help you. Alright, today we are on part 22. Write HTML head and then body and then script tag. Alright, so let's go ahead and implement. So our input will be a array of numbers, right? And what we'll do is let's throw in a method and say calculate average. Okay, now this will take a array. So I'm just going to say spread operator because we don't know how many numbers will be there, right? If you know the number of parameters, so you can pass an array with fixed numbers, but I'm using dot 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 rest operator because we don't know. It can be it can be three numbers, it can be five numbers, anything. Alright, the next thing we'll do is numbers dot reduce. Now what we'll use is a reduce method, and we will then do some comma number, and what this will do is we are basically looping each number and creating a sum. Okay, now once we have that, then what we'll do is all we need to do is divide by the number of the length, right? Divide by the numbers dot length, so that way you get an average. All right, so this will just numbers dot reduce. I'm just calling this one function. Now where are we closing that function? We are closing it right before this, okay, because all I want is the sum of this particular numbers, and then I'll divide by the numbers dot length. Okay, the initial start value is 0. It will keep looping and keep adding. All right, that's the function we have written. Now let's test it out. So I'm going to call this calculate average, and we are going to pass array values. So you can just pass the simple one first, and then we can trick it up. Always pass with multiple data sets whenever you're testing, so you know that you know your code is working. So you can always pass values which you know the value should be. So in this case, right, if you add 30, 50, 60, 60 divided by 3 should be 20. We know the outcome, right? So let's go ahead and test this. Reveal in Finder, Google Chrome, and inspect the element and console, and it says not a number. Okay, let's see why. It says not a number. Okay, so calculated average value, we took that, we took numbers dot reduce, calculate average, that's fine, but it says it's not a number. So let's see why. We have dot numbers dot reduce, we are reducing that, we got the sum and number, and then we are passing the params, adding sum plus num. Okay, default is 0, then we are dividing by numbers dot length. That looks okay to me, unless we have passed some wrong value, which I don't think. Oh yeah, because like I said, we are passing numbers right directly as params and not array. That's the problem. Okay, all right, so since we are using a rest operator, we don't need to pass an array, we can directly pass it as a parameter, right? Numbers. So let's go ahead and see that now. So now you see 3 and 20. Okay, all right, so the trick here was If you are sure you want to pass it through a array, you can pass that also, but I am directly passing it as a params. Okay, that's why I've used the spread operator. That means it can be 3 params, it can be 5, it can be 10, whatever, right? And if it's an array also, you can process it in a similar way. Okay, that's one of the coolest hack to get the average of multiple numbers passed. All right, I hope this is clear, and I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, please do hit that like button for me. Please do subscribe to my channel. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. See you in part 23. Thank you.